To be honest, when I first took my mindfulness class, I didn't really understand it. Because you hear about those like philosophical ideas, like in the news and stuff, we just think it has no relevance to you. So I just wasn't paying attention at all. I was just like talking to my friends and doing whatever. And then like the second mindfulness class, I actually found it really, really helpful. And I started to use it in day-to-day life, like my brother, my homework.
Once you've done your homework, you just need a break, so you can't just lie down and sleep. It only takes like 10 minutes, so it's enough just to relax your brain.
So mindfulness is essentially about attention, and it's about being able to attend to whatever we choose to attend to and inhibit things that come into mind.
I'd say my best definition of mindfulness, it's not about developing fantastic meditative skills that mean you can sit for 3 hours and not engage in the world, but actually that allow you to recognise that emotional states are able to be controlled.
I'm a clinical psychologist by training. One of the things that is most striking about teaching mindfulness classes, I teach them within the NHS to people with recurrent depression, is it's incredibly energising. So there's a lot of enthusiasm around mindfulness. There's interest in the media, there's interest in Westminster, right the way throughout the system. And what we're trying to do at the universities of Oxford and Exeter and Bangor and other places is begin to make sure that some of the really fundamental questions we have around mindfulness are underpinned by good science. Last year what we did was we ran a feasibility study with 522 young people in secondary schools, and what we found was that levels of stress and low-grade depressive symptoms went down in those who received the mindfulness training compared to the control groups. And what was most interesting about this study was at the time of greatest stress in the exam period, the difference between the mindfulness schools and the non-mindfulness schools became larger. So people seem to be able to use the mindfulness most at times of greatest stress.
When you know that it actually works, you will actually do it to try and help you. You won't just be doing it because you're told to. It's just another thing that you learn that can help you. Like, when you first learn maths, an equation, it helps you for your test, or when you first learn science, it helps you for this, helps you for that. So I think this was an all-rounder and it helped you for everything.
You never realise how actually loud and noisy your life is. You're constantly talking, someone's shouting somewhere, and you just take a step back and realise, wow, how have I been doing this for so long?
In mindfulness, we were texting each other, .B.
The dot stands for stop, and the B stands for just be yourself, be in the moment, and also breathe. For actual texting your friends, so you don't have to say stop, breathe, be. You just say, .b, which I think is quite smart to do. So when your friend is saying, oh, I forgot to do my homework, you can just say .b.
They love going home and teaching their parents about what they've learned. Mindfulness has been very well received amongst staff and teachers within the school, within the academy.
The next step is we need schools to help us roll out mindfulness interventions in schools.
I would say to schools who've heard about mindfulness and are considering introducing it, don't start with a blanket approach. That starting with staff will prove its worth, and sharing that with children becomes much more natural.
As a child, I was incredibly anxious. I would have minor panic attacks about spelling tests. I would dread school, and I would find it difficult to sleep, quite highly strung as an 8-year-old. Luckily, I've grown out of that quite a bit, but also mindfulness has played a huge part in that. Being able to just unwind me from the ball of stress that I allow myself to become. Just think, right, take a moment, it's not that bad, it's going to be okay. So having that as a child in school would have done wonders for me, I think.